Okay, so good day everyone. This will be the prelim discussion for XR 2B in Chem 32.1 entitled Calibration of Volumetric Glasswares. Okay, so calibration, let's first introduce what calibration is. It is the empirical determination of the relationship between a measured quantity and a known reference or standard solution. So, meaning to say, we will just compare yung ating actual values to the values of a known reference or standard solutions. So why do we do calibration? So the main purpose of calibration is to maximize accuracy. So if you're going to ask, are glassware accurate? So first, ang question dito is, ang ating mga glasswares are also affected by temperature. So they are also matter, okay, yung mga glasswares natin. So kapag subject yan sa init, pwede siyang magkaroon ng thermal expansion. Pag naman na-subject natin sa malamig, there can also be a thermal contraction. Also, glasswares are not eternal, okay? So they may deteriorate over time. So these are the following factors that may affect the accuracy of your glassware. So for example, kung meron kang 100 ml volumetric flask, supposedly or ideally, dapat 100 ml yung kaya niyang i-hold the volume. However, due to these factors that are mentioned here, pwedeng hindi na 100 ml yung ma-hold yung volume or ma-contain yung volume. It can be 100.5 or 99.55 ml, whatever the value is, that can be determined via calibration. Okay? So how do we do this calibration? First, we will deliver the water. Ayan. Then, next is, dapat yung water natin is of known volume, of known mass, and of known temperature. So question here is, pwede ba tayong gumamit ng tap water? So ang tap water natin ay maraming possible components na pwedeng nandoon na hindi natin alam kung ano-ano yung mga yon. That's why, ang ginagamit natin dito when we do step 1 is distilled water para alam nating H2O lang talaga yung laman ng ating water. Okay? Then, if we know the contents of our water, we can also know its volume and mass by means of density values. And yung density natin na magagamit is dapat alam din natin yung temperature so that we can interchange from volume to mass by means of density value. Next naman is we can calculate the actual or the true volume of water using the density at a specified temperature. That's why, before we proceed with the experiment, we have to check if ano bang temperature ng water natin so that we know or meron tayong benchmarking na we can only do this at this temperature or this equipment or this glassware is calibrated at this temperature, right? Then step 3 natin is we calculate for calibration correction. Okay, so let's proceed with the calculation. So here, true volume is equal to the nominal volume plus the correct calibration correction. So in shortcut, we can say this as TV is equal to NV plus CC. So for you to calculate for the calibration correction, it's just equal to the true volume minus the nominal volume. So dito, ano ba itong mga variables na to? So we have the true volume. True volume is derived from the mass of the water that we determine gravimetrically with a certain factor of temperature. So yung certain factor of temperature, that is your density. Okay? So ang density, ang formula natin for density is mass over volume. So if you're going to multiply the mass of water to the reciprocal of the density, so mass over volume. So basically, we cancel the units for the mass and we arrive at the desired unit, which is the unit for the volume. Usually, this is in milliliter. Okay? So there are other terms that you may encounter. So on TV natin can also be referred as calculated volume or actual volume, while the nominal volume can also be referred as apparent volume or delivered volume. So pwedeng magka-interchange ito sa mga literatures and sa course ng ating discussion for this presentation. Okay? So next natin is the volumetric flask. As you can see here, as you increase the capacity volume of the volumetric flask, you also increase its tolerance. So meaning to say, if you're going to make use of 250 ml volumetric flask, kasi yung flask natin ay, as you can see here, may line yan dito. So that is yung line for dilution natin. Ayan. So mean to say, if our lower meniscus is on that line, yeah, if our lower meniscus is on that line, our true volume lies in 250 ml plus minus 0.12 ml. Okay? So hindi natin pwedeng sabing saktong 250 yan. Hindi. Meron tayong window for tolerance. So pwede yan 250.12 pala or 250.05, depende. Okay? And also, this can be determined, yung tolerance na yan can be determined by means of calibration correction. Okay? So medyo nakikita na natin, no? So yung true value, hindi laging 250. Ang true value lies on that range. Ibig sabihin, it can be 250 minus 0.12 hanggang 250 plus 0.12 ml. Okay? Now, let's proceed sa pipette. So, pipette, yan, very familiar na kayo because of the orientation natin. So, likewise for the pipette, as you increase the capacity of the pipette, the tolerances also increases. Okay? So, you can see from 0.5 na 0.006 na 100 ml pipette, you can have 0.08 ml tolerance. Okay? The next natin ay pipettes are used for quantitative transfers. So meron tayong, so you can see here, meron tayong transfer pipette, meron tayong measuring pipette, ayan. So yung transfer pipette natin, ito yung mga, kung natatandaan niyo, ito yung mga volumetric pipette natin, yung parang mga mukhang buntis na pipette. Tapos wala silang graduation. Ibig sabihin, kapag pinuno natin ito at pumunta dito yung lower meniscus sa mark, ibig sabihin, it contains the 10 ml mark or volume of that pipette. And ang tawag sa kanya generally is transfer pipette. Whereas yung sa measure pipette naman, it has graduations or subdivisions. So kita mo kung ano yung pagitan ng 1, 2, hanggang 10. Okay? With an increment of 0.1 ml. Okay? Then you will encounter also the TD and the TC pipette. So important to. So we have the TD and the TC. Yung TD, ang pipette na ito is to deliver a specified volume. Ibig sabihin, kapag, for example, yung mga naka-encounter ng pipette na ang dulo ay 9, tapos meron pang graduation na konti, ibig sabihin, calibrated yung ating pipette na mag-deliver hanggang dulo ng 10 ml. Okay? Sabihin, yung matitirang very minute amount of liquid dun sa dulo ng tip ng pipette ay hindi mo na kailangang i-transfer to your receiver kasi calibrated siya na hindi talaga siya kasama. Okay? Tapos yung mga TC pipette naman, it is calibrated to contain specified volume, so it dispenses less volume. Okay? So yung mga TC, for example, ay makikita nyo. Ang example ng pipette na yon ay yung ang dulo ay 10. So meron pang small volume dito na hindi talaga siya kasama sa 10 ml. So dito, kinontain niya lang yung amount ng liquid na nandoon sa pipette. Pero hindi niya i-deliver yung certain amount na yon. Okay? Kinontain niya lang pero hindi niya i-deliver. Whereas sa TD, i-deliver niya yung buong volume na yon. Okay? So makikita niyo yan dito sa part ng ating pipette kung meron siyang letters na TD or TC. Tapos, meron tayo ditong number of rings. So kapag meron tayong one ring on top, ibig sabihin, no need to blow out with aspirator. Okay? Usually, itong mga no need to blow out, ito yung mga TD pipettes. Tapos yung mga multiple rings, ito yung blow out with aspirator is necessary. Okay? So itong blowout, hindi naman to necessarily sa TC. Okay? Kasi may mga TC din pala tayo na parang ganito. Okay? May TC rin tayo na parang ganyan na for example, yung dulo ng ating pipettes is 9, then may graduation pa. Kung siya ay nakalagay na TC, ibig sabihin yung dulo ng ating burette or pipette ay kailangang matransfer pa to the receiver to make sure that 10 ml yung matatransfer natin. Meaning to say, record tayo mag-blow out. Or i-blow natin with aspirator yung pipette natin para yung lahat ng contents ng nasa TC natin ay ma-transfer to the another container. Whereas, yung ating one ring on top or yung mga TD, hindi na kailangang i-blow out ng aspirator because they are calibrated that those minute amount, the tips of the pipettes are not included to get the true volume. Okay? So for the exercise in Chem 32.1 for Exercise 2B, ika-calibrate ninyo ang volumetric pipette. Okay? Next naman natin is the burette. So we have here burettes. Ang calibration ng burette natin is 0.1 ml with an uncertainty of plus minus 0.05 ml. Okay? So we have acids and base burette. So for our exercise, ang ika-calibrate natin is yung acid burette. Okay? So ang gagawin natin dito is, since we have 5 increments, so by pair ito, so si pair 1 and si pair 2, yan, ang pwede natin gawin is 1 burette lang for 1 burette per pair. If you fill natin to with distilled water, yan. Kasi yung mark natin ay nasa 0. So si pair 1 or si person 1, magdi-dispense ng volume up to 10 ml. Ayan. So ang receiver natin ay vol flask. Tapos i-weigh siya ni person 1. Then yung ka-pair niya is i-refill ito up to 0 mark ulit. Then i-weigh again or mag-dispense ulit tayo ng 10 ml to another vol flask. Yung vol flask ni pair 2 or ni person 2. Then i-weigh niya ulit to get the mass of the 10 ml dispensed water. Then pagbalik ni person 1, i-refill niya ulit, then proceed to the 20 ml mark. Okay? So gagawin niyo ito per person 5 times. Kasi meron tayong 0 to 10, 0 to 20, 0 to 30, 0 to 40, and 0 to 50 ml interval. So for the use of burette, so you have to wash the burette before using. So with detergent and rinse with water when in doubt. Or with distilled water lang. Okay? Then with small amount of titrant, if we're going to proceed with titration experiment, so this will proceed on Exer 4A. And afterwards, after mo gamitin yung burette, so wash lang with detergent and with water, then you can check for leaks before usage. So paano i-check for leaks? Halimbawa, kung meron kayong burette dito, so i-stand nyo lang siya nang naka-close yung ating stopcock, then obserbahan nyo for 2 minutes if nabawasan yung volume nyo. So dapat alam nyo rin initial volume. For example, initially we have 0 ml, then after 2 minutes naging ano siya, 0.2 ml. Ibig sabihin merong leak yung burette natin. So ipa-check nyo sa instructor if may leaks yung ating burette. Okay? So how do we use burette? So get the burette, fill beyond 0 mark, then reattach to clamp, then remove air bubbles. Kasi meron tayong area or region pa. Diba ito yung, kunwari ito yung ating stopcock, meron pa tayong burette tip. So yung burette tip natin kailangan ay filled then with the liquid. So in our case, distilled water. Okay? So dapat ma-fill yan. Kaya mag-refill muna tayo beyond 0 mark. Kung ito yung ating 0 mark, so mag-fill tayo na nandito yung ating water. Tapos bubuksan natin yung stopcock para ma-fill yung volume na to. Okay? Then pag na-fill nyo yan, tapos lumagpas kayo sa 0, i-refill nyo lang ulit until you reach the 0 mark again. Then in controlling the liquid flow, use your non-dominant hand. So kung kayo ay kanan, so left hand yung gagamitin nyo pang control ng liquid. Then for burette reading, dapat lagi tayong eye level. Yung meniscus natin dapat ay nasa eye level. Okay? So dito naman kapag lower meniscus, yan yun. Then kapag upper meniscus, kapag yung liquid natin ay nakaganito. Okay? Then for your report, you just need to do it 2 times for the calibration of burette. So again, yung trial 1, si partner 1, si trial 2 ay yung partner 2. Okay? Until you reach the point of calculating for the calibration correction. So dito, ang makukuha ninyo is, since gravimetrically, so by means of gravity, so yung mass yung makukuha ninyo. Okay? So kung meron kang makuhang mass, gawa yung sa 0 to 10 ml interval, meron kang mass 1, ito yung trial 1. So mangyayari kasi dito is weighing by addition ang mangyayari. Meaning to say, i-weigh nyo muna yung mass ng inyong ball flask, that is your mass 1. Then yung mass 2 natin is ball flask plus distilled water. Yan. So if you can recall our discussion in Exer 2A, so i-weigh nyo muna si ball flask. Then transfer liquid from the burette to the ball flask. Ito yung step A, step B. Then yung step C natin is to reweigh our ball flask na meron ng water. And to get the mass of water, it's just mass 2 minus mass 1. Weight of sample. Ayan. So kapag nakuha nyo na to, ito yung ating mass of water at kung anumang certain temperature. For example, temperature natin is 24 degrees Celsius. Yan. So yung mass na yan, imumultiply natin yan sa reciprocal ng ating density. So dapat, meron tayong grams per ml dito na units. So for example, 1.0008 grams per 1 ml. So that will serve as the volume. Itong mass na to ay in grams. So that will serve as the volume of your 0 to 10 ml interval for burette. Okay? Tapos, this will serve actually also your TV. Yung ating true volume. Then, as mentioned earlier, ang ating CC is equal to TV minus NV. So, yung TV natin is yung ano yung makakalculate natin dito. Suppose this is X. Tapos yung NV natin is yung nominal volume. Kung ano yung volume na dapat na dispense. So, dito 0 to 10, so dapat 10 ml. So, by then, you can calculate for your CC. Okay? So, if you're going to report your answer, so, halimbawa, nakuha nyo ay, in the next processes ay 9.95. So, kung ano may CC dyan, for example, plus minus 0.35. So, plus minus 0.35 yung true value natin. So, that is the calibration of that burette. So, ibig sabihin, yung 9.95, pwede pala yan na 9.95 plus 0.35. Hanggang dun yung interval niya. Okay? So this is how your report should look like for the calibration of 50 ml burette. Then for the 20 ml volumetric pipette, gagawin nyo lang din siya same. Pero dito, isang bagsakan yung 20 ml since walang graduation yung pipette natin, 20 ml. Then, take note na yung ating values sa manual ninyo ay volume of 1 gram of water at various temperature. So, these are not yet density values. So, as you can see, ito ay, for example, ito. Ibig sabihin, ang 1 gram ay merong 1.0034 ml at 23 degrees Celsius. Okay? Then you have to plot your calibration correction for the 50 ml burette on your lab manual. Not lab manual. On your post-lab report. And ito yung ating sample calculations. Take note sa sample calculations natin, you have to report your values always in 2 decimal place na. Okay? Kapag volume ito, sa reports, laging 2 decimal place yung reporting natin. Okay? So, ganun din yung ating mean and average deviation. Okay? So, I think this ends our discussion for the pre-lab of XR 2B. So, if you have any questions, you may raise it on our class. And for now, I will end the discussion and thank you for listening.